Beaten playing now.
In the day's first battle of the unbeatens, Buffalo's Jay Reamersma shows why he's the man who makes the Buffalo go. The college quarterback turned tight end set up the game's first score with that grab. Oh, but he was singing soprano after that one. Rob Johnson promptly put the Bills up with a TD toss to Eric Moulds. But on the ensuing kickoff, watch as the Jets demonstrate what a wedge is for. Watch the four-man wall. Bam! They go down like 10 pins. Kevin Williams makes Jay Foreman and Steve Christie miss. And now watch for the day's best uncalled penalty. John Abraham's right there. Oh, just get out of the way. Donovan Greer goes down. The refs say, why spoil a nice touchdown? Now Curtis Martin cuts off the block of number 84, Fred Baxter, to put the Jets up 14-7. But the Bills strike right back as rookie Jeremy McDaniel beats Marcus Coleman like an egg, 74 yards for the score, 14-all. But Marcus Coleman would get his revenge. Last play of the first half, Vinny Testaverde steps up in the pocket, unloads the Hail Mary, and Coleman, the defensive back, makes the catch. 21-14 Jets. It ended 27-14, and both coaches said what you'd expect them to say.
Disastrous game for us. Seemed like Murphy's Law in a lot of cases. I mean, every time something went good for us, everything went bad. So it was our fault. We made mistakes, but we made a lot of mistakes.
Thought it was certainly an excellent overall team effort. And as I say, without all 46 guys out there today in all three units, perhaps we wouldn't have had as much as we did. So it was a good win for our team.
The Bills had no offense in the second half, maybe because Reamersma jammed his knee at halftime. He'll be out for a week, but the Bills have the bye next week. In the other duel of unbeatens, Desmond Howard got Detroit off to a good start with a 63-yard return of the opening kickoff. What's Martin Gramatica trying to do, kill someone? Howard's return led to a Jason Hansen field goal, but Carl the Truth Williams took a punt back 43 yards for Tampa Bay. And John Jett doesn't look much better than Gramatica trying to make the tackle. Sean King, 6-yard quarterback draw, put the Bucs up 7-3. But King's not just a runner. He then hit Jaquez Green on 3rd and 7 for 43 yards to set up another score. The Bucs offensive machine in high gear. Mike Allstott in low gear just bounces off two tacklers and drags Kurt Schultz over with him for the score. King is so intent on spreading the ball around, he hits guard Randall McDaniel, who lined up at fullback for a touchdown. Trent Dilfer never did anything like that. 21-3. Hail Mary was having a big day. Charlie Batch to Jermaine Crowell on the last play of the first half. Detroit's first offensive touchdown of the season, 21-10 at the half. But that was all the O for Detroit on the day. Warwick Dunn's touchdown run capped the 31-10 Tampa win, sealed when Warren Sapp got his second sack of the day. Sapp walks the walk, but it's Keyshawn Johnson who talks the talk.
We're not going to ever be a 60-point a game scoring offense, but we're going to score enough points, and I don't really think anyone can really, as far as I'm concerned, our defense, I don't know what to say about enough about them. As long as we can put up our 21 or whatever Sonic Sapp told me, 14 points, as long as we score 14 points for them, I have enough confidence into the defense that they'll do a good job and help us win the game.
And that win by the Bucs sets up a battle of the unbeatens. The Bucs take on the New York Jets next week. That'll be the week's big game. Who needs Kurt Warner? The 49ers have Jeff Garcia, and he hit Fred Beasley with a perfect pass for an early touchdown that put them up over the Rams in St. Louis. But Warner tied the game at 10 with an 18-yarder to Tony Horn. Ho-hum, ho-hum. Garcia struck back, hitting Charlie Garner, and that made it 17-10 Niners. Could these guys actually win a shootout with the St. Louis Rams? 78 yards later, Isaac Bruce was saying, I don't think so. Second touchdown pass for Warner, and Bruce was trying to make this one into a 128-yard touchdown run. Trailing 27-17, Garcia hit Terrell Owens to put the Niners within 3, and Terrell wanted an extra 2 points for the slam. But Marshall Faulk ran for 134 yards and 3 touchdowns. Ho-hum, ho-hum. Rams win 41-24. Warner has thrown for 1,221 yards in 3 games, more than anyone in any 3 games in a row in NFL history. Brian Greasy's looking more like John Elway all the time, while Ed McCaffrey looks an awful lot like Ed McCaffrey. Broncos up 7-0 in Oakland. Kavika Pittman now forces a fumble from Rich Gannon. Trevor Price picks it up, takes it back 28 yards, and all of a sudden, the visiting Broncos are in the lead 14-10. And look at Trevor go. The price is right. Then John Mobley hits Tyrone Wheatley. Watch Romo pile on, and Eric Brown will pick up the ball to set up a Joe Nedney field goal. What way to go, Romo. Still in the first half, Oakland strike back. Rich Gannon to Tim Brown, 17-7. The same combo brings Oakland within 7 at 24-17, still in the second quarter. Then Tom Ruin goes back to punt. The Raiders rush. Ruin is ruined. Randy Jordan rolls into the end zone, and we're tied at 24 at halftime. But Denver rookie Mike Anderson had another huge day for the Broncos. This 38-yard run set up one of 3 Joe Nedney field goals in the second half. And of course, Nedney was cut by Oakland after last season and signed just last week to replace the injured Jason Elam. It was Nedney's revenge in Oakland. Final score 33-24. And a huge day for Mike Anderson. Only 6 other guys have gained 100 yards in their first 2 NFL games. In Foxborough, Robert Smith ran right through Henry Thomas's tackle like he wasn't there. Vikings 7, Pat zip. Kevin Falk broke some tackles of his own to tie the game up at 7. With Dante Culpepper looking poised, the Vikings controlled the ball 14-7 on this pass to Johnny McWilliams. Then Matthew Hachette burned Kato Sawanga like yesterday's toast for a 39-yard touchdown, and the Vikings led 21-7. With New England's defense playing strong in the second half, Drew Bledsoe hit Terry Glenn to make it 21-13, but they missed the extra point. They couldn't score again, and the game ended 21-13. Minnesota in the lead. Good game for Dante Culpepper and Robert Smith. Chris Carter moves to number 2 on the all-time pass receiver list behind Jerry Rice. In Chicago, rookie Ron Dixon made Kerry Collins look like Joe Montana. Giants lead the Bears 7-zip. McCade McNown hits Eddie Kennison. Kennison looks like Jerry Rice. It's 7-7. Tiki Barber's running like Maurice Green. Watch Tiki on this one. He's going to put the Giants into position to win the game. Tiki's off to a tremendous start this season. He now scores on this 3-yard counter. A close shave for the Giants, but the Barbers all they need. Tiki's touchdown makes it 14-7, and the New York Giants stay undefeated. Both New York teams undefeated after 3 games for the first time ever in history. Never happened before, not even in New York. Never. Got that? Never. In Miami, it rained on Dan's parade. The Dolphins retired Marino's number at halftime, but Lamar Smith had Baltimore's number, running 12 yards here to set up the game's first score, which would be a 42-yard field goal from Olindo Mare. And that was all the offense the Dolphins would need in the rain. Former Rhine Fire star Jeff Ogden's punt return set up Mare's second field goal. Ogden was sent over by Dallas, then cut by the Cowboys, but Dave Wanstead brought him over to Miami. Mare's second field goal from 41 yards. Miami led 6-0 at the half. Marino's shirt survived the Rockets' red glare as the NFL's leading career passer inspired the kind of display usually reserved for revolutions or petrol arriving in London. Dan Marino, number 13. No Super Bowl rings, but a great career in Miami. The smoke still hadn't settled when the new Dan Marino, Jay Fiedler, shovel pass to Lamar Smith. That went for 28 yards and set up Smith's first touchdown of the game. Dan couldn't have done any better. Smith scored on the 7-yard run, and now it was 13-0 Miami. It always seems like it's 13-0 Miami. Former Amsterdam Admiral Fiedler found tight end Jed Weaver to set up another score. Weaver with some nice running after the catch, and then Fiedler hits Lamar Smith. It's an 8-yard TD and a 19-3 lead. The final score was 19-6, and Olindo Mare got no extra points for hitting the camera on the conversion. Referee's head, caroms into the camera. Two-cushion shot by Olindo Mare. Bam! Love it. The Miami D sacked Tony Banks 6 times. Rookie Jamal Lewis had his best game yet for the Ravens, but it wasn't enough.
So there you go, seeing the teams that are holding some 100% records still.
In Charlotte, the Falcons' defense outperformed the Panthers' high-priced free agents. Ray Buchanan's interception set up an early Morton Anderson field goal for an early Atlanta lead. Then Jamal Anderson, no relation to Morton, showed his knee is returning to full strength with a 26-yard touchdown run to put Atlanta up 10-0. It's strong, but it's not strong enough to Dirty Bird. Steve Berline's touchdown to Mushin Muhammad tied the game at 10 just before the half, and Mushin had a notion for some motion of his own. Atlanta went back into the lead after Ashley Ambrose's 38-yard interception return. I still say Ashley Ambrose is a great name for anyone playing in Atlanta. Ambrose's pick led to another Morton Anderson field goal, 27 yards this time, and a 13-10 lead. Then Jamal Anderson was rumbling his way toward another score when former Falcon Eugene Robinson stopped him. Doug Evans forced a fumble. Evans picks up the ball, runs through the end zone and out of bounds. That's a safety, 2 points for the Falcons. Final score 15-10. Chuck Wiley, who had no sacks last year for Carolina, had 2 for Atlanta against his old team. Bruce Coslett's Bengals were welcomed to Jacksonville with a 21-yard touchdown. Mark Brunell to Keenan McCardell. Instant replay said the Zebras were wrong. On the ensuing kickoff, Tremaine Mack demonstrates Bengal ball at its best, fumbles once. Now he fumbles again. Kwame Thomas puts the ball out of its misery. That sets up Steve Lindsey's field goal, 10-0 Jacksonville. Aaron Beasley's interception sealed the Jags' first ever shutout. It'll go into the books with an asterisk. After all they did was shut out the Bengals. Final score of 13-0. The Bengals stopped Jimmy Smith this week, but Keenan Nick Cardell stepped right up with 10 catches of his own. In Green Bay, the Eagles are up 3-0, but Brett Favre finds Donald Driver to set up a Ryan Longwell field goal that's going to tie the game. Setting up a field goal was about as good as it got in this grim game. Donovan McNabb sacked 5 times. Favre threw 3 interceptions before Favre finally found Freeman in the final quarter with a 12-yard pass that set up another score. That was Ryan Longwell's 38-yarder, his first ever game winner of his career at any level, high school, college, or pro. Came with 3 seconds left. Marco Rivera, Barry Stokes, they look like the Scottish Claymores out there. Maybe that's why the game finished 6-3. The new Browns had never won at home, but Tim Couch hit David Patton for 40 yards to set up the first score of the game. That came on a Couch pass to rookie tight end Aaron Shea. Shea's catch put Cleveland up 7-0 over the Steelers. Then Bill Walsh cast off Mark Edwards, caught a 21-yard touchdown pass from Couch. The Browns were up 14-0. Richard Huntley made it 14-7 before he had to leave the game with a hamstring injury. Obviously not hurt yet. That didn't matter much because the bus was back in gear. Jerome Bettis' 10-yard run made it 20-17 Browns. The Steelers tied the game at 20, but then Couch hit Kevin Johnson for 79 yards. Johnson picking up where he left off in his rookie year last year, and that set up a field goal. Couch had a career-high 316 yards passing. Phil Dawson's 29-yard field goal put the Browns up 23-20, and with 14 seconds left, no timeouts, Kent Graham held on to the ball. Courtney Brown got his third sack, and time ran out before Pittsburgh could try a tying field goal. The Browns win. Kent Graham said after the game he'd take the blame. That's going to look great on Bill Cowher's resume when Cowher goes looking for another job after this season. You think I'm kidding? The Browns win their first ever home game. Like Paul Brown and Jim Brown, the new man in Cleveland is Courtney Brown. He had 4 tackles and 3 sacks in this one. At Arrowhead, Mike Dumas put the Chargers up 7-0 over the Chiefs with a 56-yard touchdown return. That was the good news for the Chargers. They ran up a 10-0 lead, and then the bad news started. Down 10-0, Elvis Gerbach hits rookie Sylvester Morris for a 36-yard touchdown pass. Then Gerbach hits Tony Richardson from in close, and the Chiefs take the lead 14-10. Sylvester Morris again, this time from 9 yards. The Chiefs lead 21-10. No wiggle this time from Mr. Morris. Tight end Troy Drayton in close, all alone. It's 28-10 Chiefs. And now Sylvester Morris gets his 3rd touchdown of the game, beating Tony Darden like a drum. 35-10 Chiefs. The final score was 42-10. 5 touchdown passes for Elvis Gerbach. Moses Moreno was supposed to lead the Chargers to the promised land, but after 5 sacks, he was replaced by Ryan Lee. In Seattle's Husky Stadium, Ricky Waters put the Seahawks up 7-0 over the Saints. But Jeff Blake had an answer for that. He hits Keith Poole for 49 yards, and that ties the game up at 7. Jeff Blake was not sharp after that completion, but John Kitten is looking better every week. He hits rookie Darrell Jackson for 25 yards to put Seattle into scoring position. The ensuing field goal tied the game at 10. Then Kidna hits a Tula Mealy for a 1-yard score. The Seahawks win 20-10. A good game for Kidna. Ricky Waters and Ricky Williams almost equal in the stats.
There you go, that's the action from week 3. Standings in a moment. And, if we go back over those teams, I guess in this second lot of games that we've seen here, Jacksonville probably the